Hey everyone, welcome today to our special edition of the Valentine's Day stories. I'm here with Heather Moore, Jennifer Moore, Jen Geigle Johnson, and I'm Julie Daines, and we've got some really fun stories lined up for you today. First, I'll let Heather tell us about our giveaway for today.
So the giveaway is actually my upcoming contemporary romance, kind of a small town story. Anyway, so this book technically comes out February 28th, but I can get you an early copy for the winner. So the choice would be ebook or paperback.
Right, so just leave a comment here or on any of our Facebook pages or on the YouTube channel, and you'll be entered to win the drawing giveaway for that super darling book. And we don't have any book news today, so I thought maybe I'd start off telling this super quick little story that one of our good friends and viewers sent to us. Her name is Mindy. And this is just a really short little one about how on Valentine's Day, she was sitting around talking with her friend, and she was telling her friend literally how much she hates movies like The Notebook, like just really saying, I really hate The Notebook. And then her husband, thinking that he would have some really cute, sweet Valentine's Day activity, walks in with the new DVD of The Notebook. So anyway, it was awkward, but they're still happily married. All right, but we do have some really fun stories this time, and we're going to start with I called this episode Sweet and Salty Valentine's Day. We're going to start with the salty one. So Jen?
Okay, this is really fun in a salty kind of way. Okay, so there's a guy, he's planning a proposal, and it's at like a bar. It's like a pizza bar kind of place. So it's not, just looks something like that. Good picture. And he's got this whole thing set up. He's got a ring. He dropped off the ring early. So the manager in charge, put the ring in the safe, like for safekeeping. And they had it all set up. They were going to stick it on the dessert plate and everything was ready. So the couple arrives and he writes this whole big thing. The manager writes up this whole big spiel about it. And he says they looked like they were in love and it was cute. Even though it's kind of that kind of place, Valentine's Day, she seemed like it was totally her vibe and it was great. They ordered like white wine for their champagne and they were ready to go. And as the manager they're heading towards dessert. And as the manager goes back to get in the safe to get the ring, it's missing. And he said the owner was kind of a jerk and he figured, he just wondered if the owner had grabbed it. So he calls the owner and sure enough, the owner thought it was like a lost and found kind of thing. Nobody was claiming it, took it home. He was going to sell it and keep it. So the manager's like, oh no. And the owner refuses to come and bring it back, even though they're in the middle of this, situation. And so the manager gets in his car, rushes to the boss's house, gets the ring back, tells the staff to stall. So they start creating other courses in this pizza bar place, and they bring them more things, and they delay the proposal, and they don't know. Like, thankfully, the almost engaged couple had no idea this was all going on. So then manager brings the ring back, takes about 15-20 minutes, sticks it on the dessert tray, there you go, and brings it out and saves the day. So the proposal happened, and it's really cute what he says. At one point, just about the entire staff was watching the table. When we saw the look on her face, my heart finally started beating again. She said yes, and I started looking for a new job. So I thought that was excellent. Fun story.
That is hilarious. And also, can you imagine the panic?
No.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, before I start talking, let's ask Heather, would you book it?
So I think I would book it. But of course, my question is, why would anyone leave a diamond ring at a restaurant? I mean, I feel like there's got to be more of the story. Maybe the manager was his friend. But yeah, so I would have to create like some sort of, but I think it's fun. I mean, it obviously is kind of nail biting and it's fun. It's kind of romantic comedy almost. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Jen, how about you?
Go Jennifer Moore.
Okay. I would book it. I think it's adorable. And especially the staff all panicking and being like, and now we have this, and making their dinner go on longer. And then
like, what are they going to bring out? More pretzels?
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like stressed out back there and they come out with a big smile like, hey, no, it's great. This is going to be special. Yeah. I love it. Sorry, I took your turn.
Other Jen?
No, yeah, we all share the same names in this group. It's great. I can't decide actually. I don't think I'm gonna book it. I mean, I'm gonna say no because everyone else is booking it. Might as well add a contrary. But I do love it, and there's things I would like to write about it. But I also, I don't know. There's just something hard. It's too tensious. I'm stressed telling the story. I don't know. I can't go there. So no.
All right. I think personally I would book it because here's what I see. A cute rom-com type story, but it's the story about the manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the book opens with this horrible scene of losing the ring and panicking and trying to get the ring back. But then at the end, when he makes his final proposal, I could just see this really funny tie-in situation happening that would make it fun and kind of come full circle. So I would book it. I think it's kind of fun. All right. And we've got one more story from Jennifer.
And this is just a story I read on the internet, and then I was trying to find it again, and I found it. There's just an article written. So this man, and I didn't even look for his name. I'm going to call him Matt. So Matt is going to his dad's grave and visiting his dad's grave, and there's all these flowers on it because I guess they had family all around, that visited it quite frequently. So he went every week, brought flowers, and then he noticed that there was a grave next to his dad's, and it was just bare, and there were never any flowers, and it seemed like nobody cared about that grave. So he started bringing extra flowers, and he would put some on the stranger's grave and then some on his dad's grave. And then he started to feel this connection to the dead man in the next door to his dad's grave, and he was looking at his dates, and he died on Christmas, and he was like, how sad. He's died and nobody visits him. He even died on Christmas. So he decided he was going to Google him. So he entered in his name, and then he found out the reason that nobody visits his grave and the reason he died on Christmas. He murdered his family on Christmas, and he committed suicide. So he murdered his wife and her parents, and then I guess himself. And so he's like, oh, what am I doing? So he found out where the wife and parents were buried, the murdered people. And he went to their grave, and he said that he was standing there kind of giving an apology for, taking care of the grave of the guy that killed them. And a woman came up, and she's like, what are you doing at my aunt's grave? What are you doing here? And he said they talked, and he told her the story, and she kind of thought it was really weird. But he asked her out, and a couple years later, they got married. I thought it was the best meet cute I could even. It was so cute and so weird.
Yeah, so weird, right? So random how they could make that connection.
Well, and just kind of what it says about him that, like, I don't know, maybe a lot of men do stuff like that, but just that he felt like, well, I better find these other people, or he noticed an empty grave next. I don't know. I think he sounds like a sweet guy.
Right. So would you book it, Jennifer?
I think I'd book it. I would love to come up with something complicated and strange like that as a way for people to meet. It's so interesting. So, yep.
That was interesting. Jen, how about you?
I'm contrary today. No booking anything. Not booking.
Get out of here.
I can't handle the murder aspect. I don't know how to handle that in a way that wouldn't totally change the tone of most stories I write. So I just can't.
Heather?
I think it's super intriguing, and I would probably read a book, but I wouldn't write it. So that's the reason I'd say I wouldn't book it. Just I don't feel like it would be my forte to write, but I do think it's a really cool, unique way to meet someone.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I would book it because you had me at murder. It's so weird. It's so weird how that connection could be made. It's just so bizarre. And then it ends up that he was a murder-suicide. I mean, it's just, I love it. I would totally book it.
I love you, Julie.
Maybe I will. I mean, maybe I'll just take that story and write it into total fiction because I love it so much.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I feel. I would definitely book it. All right. Thanks for joining us today for our special Valentine's Day episode. Don't forget to, if you go to YouTube, to like and subscribe, because that will help us get more views and more momentum going for our little podcast thing here that we do. If you have a story that you think is kind of funny from whatever your life, your family's life, anything that you know of that's just kind of a really stranger than fiction type story, be sure and send it in to fictionirlauthors@gmail.com. And we will see you next time on
Fiction.
In
Real.
Life.
Yay! Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's.